Hey guys. Please excuse me. Please excuse me. I just got off work. So I know a lot of you guys said that it helps when I come on and do like a reminder to let you guys know that tonight, you guys, tonight is Tuesday. Tonight we will be having a big book study at 7:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hey Jason. Yes, tonight, and we're on Bill's story, y'all. So if you haven't, if you weren't here last week, you haven't missed a lot yet. We're just starting Bill's story tonight. And last week we did the doctor's opinion, and it was just great. And so what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to break it down, right? I'm going to read half of Bill's story tonight, and then next Tuesday we'll read the other half. So that way, we can stop in between, and I can talk and we can talk about it, and I can kind of share with you guys what I relate to in his story, and you guys can share with me what you relate to. So yeah, hopefully that you guys can all make it tonight. So last night, I also did a video last night. I don't know if a lot of you guys were here last night, but last night we talked about how we can do like a nightly checklist, you guys. Hey, Krissy. And how we can check our motives each night. And there's like a checklist that you can go through, you guys. If you haven't ever been aware of this, there's a checklist in the big book on page 86. And the way the checklist goes is it's just, have I been resentful? Have I been selfish? Have I been dishonest or afraid? Do I owe an apology? Have I kept any secrets? Have I been kind and loving towards all? Is there things that I can do better? Right? And so this is a checklist that I try to go through each night as I'm, when I'm going to bed at night, and try to think, is there anyone that I owe an amends to, or that I need to make it right to the next day? And I even go as far into, like, lately here I've been thinking about, and that's why I made a video earlier. I don't know if you guys watched the video that I just uploaded, but the video that I just uploaded was about, having empathy and compassion for addicts that are still suffering in active addiction. And because when people are getting started, you guys, it's so difficult, y'all, to get started, right? And that's what I can remember. And that's why I really try so hard, you guys, to remember and not, because I feel like what happens for a lot of people that have long-term sobriety is they get far away from what it was like to struggle. And so they forget how hard it was to make those first steps into getting sober, right? And so that's what happens when you see people who, are not as kind or supportive or loving as they could be, right? We beat ourselves up enough as addicts, right? I don't need others in recovery giving me a hard time too. We don't need to now listen to me. Now, am I telling you, oh, so-and-so is relapsing and we're just going to no. And I'm not saying, hey, it's like, I want you guys to go out and make, mistakes and relapse all the time. No, that's not what I'm saying. And I'm not making excuses for bad behavior like that. I don't do that. Like, we take responsibility for our actions, right? We take responsibility for the things that we did when we were in active addiction, and we own that, right? We own that. That's part of the process. But what I'm saying is that it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to judge someone else's journey because it doesn't look like your own. It's so easy to assume that the way someone else is doing it isn't correct because that's not the way you did it. You know what I mean? And I see this happen a lot on social media, and I always try to be kind when I approach somebody that maybe I think is forgetting where they came from. it's not hard to be kind, and it's not hard. It's like, I talk to so many people, you guys, that are struggling in active addiction every day. And I'll tell you this. Tough love is good when you have a relationship with someone and you know that person. But here on the internet, the people that are just passing through on my channel, and we don't have a personal relationship, tough love doesn't help them. It's not going to help them because they don't know me. I don't know them. So instead of putting out, like, I'm talking like just saying, come on, get your shit together. Like, I wouldn't talk to somebody like that I don't know. Like, because here's the deal. They don't know me. And so they don't know that that's coming from a place of love. They don't know that that's coming from my heart and that I'm only trying to help them, right? They don't know that. And so they might take it, offensively. And then that puts them on the defense. And then they're only remembering, their only thought of recovery is that girl who was screaming at them, who was like, if you don't get sober, you're going to die. And it was being like all kinds of hateful, and they thought it was hateful, but it wasn't hateful. It was just me trying to help, right? And so I just want people who have long-term sobriety, because I think there's quite a few people here on the internet who have like years in recovery, right? And it's just become easy for them to stay sober, right? Because they've been practicing the things that they're doing every day for a long time. And that's true, you guys. You will get to a point in your recovery where it's going to be, you're not going to want to get high anymore. You're going to love your life in sobriety. But I remember, and listen to me, and some days I still do struggle, you guys, with a fleeting thought that says, maybe I should get a Xanax or something. But what I'm telling you is, like, I love my life in recovery today. I love being sober today, right? Like, I enjoy my life. But I remember what it was like to struggle. And I remember what it was like when it wasn't easy. And it was a struggle to stay sober. I will never forget calling my sponsor and crying my eyes out because I wanted to go get high. You know what I mean? And I think, like, as people in recovery with years sober, we have to remember that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of not being able to reach out, that feeling of thinking we had to handle it on our own, right? That's the thing, you guys. Like, and when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the thick of active addiction, it's like it's never going to end. And I just know from experience and from helping other addicts and alcoholics through the years that when you're sharing with other people, you guys, I have learned from experience that your delivery and your attitude and the way you carry the message, it really makes a difference on how people are going to respond to the message that you're carrying. I know, because I used to be very, very hard, very one way, very just, right? And I know because I used to be hard, right? But I'm going to tell you something. Each person is so different, and I talk to so many different people throughout the day. Y'all know. I have a different relationship with each person that I talk to because I handle each person differently, because that person needs me to be, some people need me to be kind and to be easy with them and to kind of guide them through slowly. Some people need me to wake up, slap them around a little bit, tell them that, they need to get their lives together because they're about to die. Then some people need a little mixture of both. Some people, it's so different and it's so individualized that's why it's so dangerous, you guys, to make these statements that are like broad statements that, you know, recovery is so individualized for each person. Each person is going to respond to different treatments differently. And I just want you guys to know that whatever you're choosing to do, you guys, whatever you are working on, I just want you guys to work on it to the best of your ability and take it one day at a time, and do not get discouraged. All right? Do not get discouraged. I have been really working hard on trying to, yay, Danny. Good. I'm glad you liked it. I want you guys to really understand that I love you guys, and I know what it was like. I know what it was like to be judged. I know what it was like. I'm coming from a place of knowing how it feels to be different than everyone else and to not be accepted. And that's not what recovery is about. All right? That's not what recovery is about. As people in recovery, we need to meet the addict where they're at. Okay, the addict and the alcoholic that are actively using and drinking, they don't understand the recovery talk. You know what they understand? They understand me sharing what I was like when I was in their situation. And then once I get them in and they start coming in and they want to try recovery and they want to learn more about recovery, then I start sharing with them the process of getting sober, and the process of changing, and the process of connecting with a power greater than yourself. Okay? But for right now, like, I'm trying to witness and to share my testimony with the still sick and suffering. Thanks. Yeah. And I just feel like I watch so many different content creators, and sometimes I just feel like other people forget. They forget, you know, just because your experience was one way doesn't mean that someone else's experience is going to be that same exact way. And you know, with everything that's going on in the world today, with opiate addiction like it is, and medically assisted treatment on the rise, and more people are getting on Suboxone and methadone for treatment for opiate addiction, you guys, I don't want to alienate a whole class of people who are struggling with opiate addiction who decided to get on Suboxone or methadone. And, you know, I guess God just placed me right in the perfect position for that, because I have experience in that. And I have experience, you know, almost being segregated or pushed away from other groups of people because of the choice, because of the path that I chose to get sober with, right? But if we're looking at it, right, so many people struggle with the disease of addiction. How is one treatment going to work for everyone? Back in 1930, when Bill and Bob and Ebby got together and made AA, y'all, then you know what? That was back in the 1930s when those were the only options. There wasn't a lot of options. We're in 2019 now, and there are options. So listen, I just want you guys to know that here on my channel, Real Talk Recovery, I'm going to share with you guys my struggle in addiction, okay? And I'm going to share with you guys my recovery process with medically assisted treatment and the whole process of tapering and going through that. I'm going to share with you guys what it's like to be, you know, in a 12-step fellowship and on medically assisted treatment. And I want you guys to know, like, whatever you choose to do, I'm behind you 100%. I just want you guys to get better. That's all. I just want you to be happy and to get better, you know. And I feel like we all have to remember that, right? Like, we have to remember, like, the whole goal here, the goal is to be happy, joyous, and free. And happy, joyous, and free to you might look differently than my happy, joyous, and free. You know, we're all so different. I never thought that when I heard people's judgments about Suboxone, I know one thing, it saved my husband's life and our marriage, so there, he is not different on it. It's not like drugs. Danny, I wanted to talk to you about that, and so that, yeah. And that video is down now, so I saw that at least. But it was really just disappointing because I thought the same thing. And then when I saw that, and then all of a sudden, do you remember that one day when you were asking me about who it was that blocked me? It was that person. So just so you know. And I don't even know why. It was because I was sticking up for people who are on medically assisted treatment like myself. So anyway, there's a lot of people who judge, and they have this holier than thou, like, pedestal attitude, and it's because that didn't work for them, or that wasn't their choice, right? But it's like, okay, so Danny's husband, you guys, is on medically assisted treatment, and she is not. And so, but she sees that her husband is changing his life, and he's being a better person. It's helping him so much. Can you imagine, like, seeing your loved one go from being actively using drugs, like I was, like her husband was, like some of you were, to getting on a medication and getting into therapy and starting to try to change their life, and it totally changes, and they're becoming a better person, and then hear somebody else tell them that because they're on this medication that they might as well just be using drugs? Like, that's just the ultimate spit in the face. Like, how dare anyone judge someone else's journey? And it's so disappointing to me to see other human beings treating other humans like that. You know, it breaks my heart. And I only know because I have had that done to me, and it is the worst feeling in the world. It is the worst feeling to look up to someone else in recovery because they're sober and they did it differently than I did, and one day I'll hope to be where they're at. And then to hear them basically say, well, you might as well be on drugs because you're on Suboxone. It's the worst feeling. But what it's taught me, you guys, it's taught me that I can't expect anything from anyone else because I expected more of that person, right? And so now I know you can't. It's like people will constantly disappoint you. And so you guys, even me, I'll disappoint you, right? So don't place expectations on other people, you guys, because it is just, it's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. And it's just such a hard time right now because so many people are struggling with opiate addiction. One of the worst things you can do is get on and tell a whole group of people who are struggling with addiction to opiates that are on medically assisted treatment that they're doing the wrong thing. Because to some of us that were so, I mean, it's a lifesaver. Medically assisted treatment has saved my life. And yes, I have worked my ass off on my recovery, y'all. Worked my ass off. Okay? But that medication has given me it's helped me to stabilize. And it's given me a leg up where I never thought I would be. I never thought that I could even be here to help anybody. And it's like I actually have a voice and I can share with you guys, and I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop. Even when I get off of Suboxone, I'm never going to stop advocating for people who are on Suboxone because I am so sick and tired of hearing people treat other people like that. It breaks my heart, and it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. And that's one way to change my mind about anybody is when I hear them talking about someone else's journey, and including Suboxone, and they say something like just shitty like that, like Suboxone isn't recovery, you might as well be trading addictions, you know, you're never going to get off that stuff. Oh my God. I'll just I'll have y'all know that's the one way to just, I will never ever mess with you again. I will just not even talk to you, you know, because it's closed-minded, it's judgmental, it's not any part of anything I want. You know, I want you guys to understand that, you know, just because I'm on Suboxone doesn't mean I'm not serious about my recovery. Okay, Danny, exactly. But it's not. It's dependency, and there's a huge difference between addiction and dependence. I'll just tell you guys though, like, I have been studying the disease of addiction and learning about the 12 steps and really trying to educate myself on these things so that way I can help other people. And then I just have the life experience, right? And so I'm telling you guys, like, Suboxone is not going to cure your addiction, okay? It's not going to cure your addiction, but going to therapy, changing negative behaviors, changing your old criminal ways, becoming a better person on the inside, that's what's going to help you overcome your addiction, right? But medication assisted therapy can help you to get stabilized, and that's the whole point. You know, it really hurts my heart, you guys, to hear people just judge others. It's just so disappointing. But and it's also so hurtful as someone who's in recovery with multiple years sober. It hurts so much to me because I've worked so hard to get to where I'm at. You know, I've worked my ass off, you guys, to get to where I'm at. All right, I put in work every single day. Right? I was on multiple drugs, not just opiates. I was addicted to many other things, mostly methamphetamines and Roxy. All right? And Suboxone didn't cure my craving or my disease. It didn't make me not want to stop shooting meth. I had to work hard to overcome those feelings. I've had to work my ass off to change my behaviors and to be a better person. Y'all, I'm telling you, and my life isn't perfect. It's never going to be perfect, you guys, right? And recovery is amazing. I love my life today, you guys. I'm telling you, I love my life today. All right. But what I'm telling you is you can get to a place where you no longer have the desire to use, where drugs and alcohol, they don't sound good to you anymore. And that's the place I'm in, right? That's why I'm working on tapering off of Suboxone, because I'm finally in a place where I can say, hey, I feel good, right? I feel confident. I don't want to get high anymore. I don't want to use meth. I don't want to eat Xanaxes. I don't want to shoot Roxys, right? But that's taken a lot of work for me, and I'm still working on it. I'm still practicing changing, right? So I just want you guys to know, like, I just wanted to make this video and let you guys know, like, there's no judgment over here. No judgment. Whatever you got to do, you do what you got to do, okay? I just want you guys to come over here, just join in, follow me while I do this journey. This is a recovery journey for me, and you guys are following my process, and go and learn about recovery and alcoholism and addiction with me, you know, and we're doing this together. Like, I'm not teaching y'all, we're learning together. Okay? What? Hey Rob, how did that go? Are you okay? How did you do that? How did you do that? How's that going for you? Did you just jump off, or did you taper off? And you guys, another thing is, I am not a doctor. And you also have to realize, guys, like, if you're following... Oh, good job. Good job, Rob. 1 milligram a day now. That's good. That's great. Just stay low and take your time. Take your time. Okay? Do not rush the process. Easy does it. No, you're not in a race. Y'all, that's the thing. We're not in a race with anybody. Okay? Take your time and just easy. Because we want you to be as successful as possible, right? And that's another thing. Like, I'm not a doctor, you guys. All I'm sharing with you is my experience. And I want you to understand also that when you're watching other recovery channels, they're not doctors either. Okay? And so if you're on medically assisted treatment and like you're on it and you're seeing a doctor, okay? You listen to whatever your doctor does. Okay? You do whatever they ask you to do if it's beneficial and it's not hurting or harming you, okay? Because it's really easy for us addicts to say, well, this is what you need to do because I've been there. But remember, that could be harmful to somebody else. Hey, Aaron, because someone else is totally different than what I'm doing, right? They're different. Their body's different. Their addiction is different. Their surroundings are different. Their circumstances are different. And so take your time. And just remember, you guys, like, if you're in long-term sobriety, I want you, if you have years sober, I want you to think back to before you had years sober. And I want you to put yourself in the position of the addict who's still sick and suffering. And remember what it was like for you. And remember how many years it took you to change your life. Because I don't know about you guys, but it took me many different tries. It took me so many times. Okay, Rob, good. Rob, I want you to keep contact with me. I want you to text me or email me and stay in contact with me so I know how you're doing. I haven't heard from you on email in a while, so you need to either email me or text me so I know you're okay. It took me so many years, you guys, to get to where I am today, and I'm still learning so much, right? I'm still at the beginning of my journey. I'm still a brand new baby. But I'm telling you what, once you get started and you start moving forward, you're going to see the changes that are happening in your life, and you're going to go, damn, man, she was right. This was the best thing I ever did for myself. Hey, Aaron, girl, you do whatever you got to do for you, okay? There's no judgment here. I've been on Suboxone for almost 4 years, about 3.5 years now. And I'm currently tapering, and I'm on my 4th month in on my taper. And I'll go back to the doctor at the beginning of May, which is like, what, in a couple days? And I'll go down 2 more milligrams. And I'm going to let you guys know how that goes. But I'm taking it real slow. If you got to stay on it for the rest of your life, girl, then you do what you got to do. That's the thing, you guys. Like, everyone's circumstances are different. Everyone's bodies are different. Everyone's lives are different. Okay? Just take your time. Do what you got to do. All right? Don't worry about what other people say. I just don't ever want to come from a place where people think, I don't want you guys to ever think that I think that I'm better. Okay? I don't want you to ever think that I know it all, because I don't. All right? I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I'm doing it step by step. You guys are seeing me do it with you. You see me cry, you see me laugh, you see me angry, everything. Okay? I just want you guys to know, like, addiction is so powerful. All right? It can take everything from you. And I just don't want any of you guys to lose your lives or go back out and die. You know, like, it's so important to me for y'all to understand that if Suboxone or methadone is what you guys got to do to stay sober, please do not ever let anyone make you feel bad about that. Thanks, Rob. I love you, man. Good. I'm so proud of you, Rob. That's what's up. And you guys, I guess I kind of got a taste of my own medicine, because back in the day, y'all, before I got on Suboxone, I used to be real judgmental. And I used to think that there was only one way to recover, and that was through the 12 steps, right? And that if you weren't working the 12 steps, then you weren't going to get sober. And that really hindered me for a long time. Hey, Aaron, what did you think? Did you like it? I'm sorry it was so long, but girl, I was telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. That was a long series. That took me 4 nights. I just want you guys to know, like, your journey is your journey. And I just want you guys to find what works for you and be happy, okay? Just be happy. So, anyway, this was supposed to just be a quick reminder video. Tonight at 7:45 Central, we're doing the big book study, so I hope you guys will come. Right now, it's 4:30, so that means we got 3 hours, okay? 3 hours, and I want y'all to come back here, and we're doing the big book study, okay? Well, Erin, I'm glad to have you. Welcome to the family, girl. Welcome to the family. Yay, Rob's got tonight off. Okay, cool. That's what's up, you guys. So y'all are all going to be here. That's good. So tonight we're doing Bill's story, so y'all are going to get to hear about how crazy old Bill was. So I'm excited, and I love you guys, and I just felt like I needed to come on here and just tell you guys, like, if you're in recovery and you've been sober for a long time, try to put yourself back to where others are. Try to remember what it was like. I love y'all.